Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Gareth, and today we're not going to be making cakes, we're going to be making something better. Probably the best thing that you will ever eat. I can't guarantee that that will be the case, but it's garlic bread, but not in the traditional form. It's going to be a pull apart garlic dough ball loaf type thing. Yeah, it sounds amazing, doesn't it? It sounds absolutely perfect. Exactly what you need to go with the leftover bolognese from yesterday. Or if you've got anything else, to be honest, garlic bread goes with literally everything. Let's crack on. So typically we're going to be making a bread to start. So as usual, flour. You want to add your salt to that, give it a little mix around. Actually, you know what? I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. What we should really do, take your water, your room temperature water, mix your sugar and your yeast together, pour that into the warm water, give it a little mixy, like that. What you want to do is just leave that for a couple of minutes, the yeast to activate. We've got it about the water about 40 degrees, that should activate it perfectly. It's always best to do this just in case you're worried that you've got some old yeast. I know that I haven't. I say that it could still not activate. We'll wait and see. But in the meantime, we'll run through the rest of our ingredients. Milk. Make sure that your milk's room temperature. Probably just give it a little blitz in the microwave to warm up. And some softened butter as well. So you're basically making sort of an enriched, delicious, almost brioche style dough. Oh, Mama can see it already aerating. So we've let our yeast rest for a little time, and we're going to basically mix everything together now. So, wet ingredients, add into your flour salt mixture. So yeast, water, sugar mixture, get that all in there. So you get all the sugar and everything from the bottom. There we go. And milk as well. What we're going to knead the butter in afterwards when we've already created our dough. So if you've got a stand mixer, you can use that. I've got a stand mixer, but I found that the dough hook isn't as effective as just getting your hand stuck in there. So give it a mix until you've got a nice homogeneous mixture. We want to drop this down onto a lightly floured workstation. There we go. Drop it down. Then what we want to do is we want to knead for a minimum of about 5 minutes, to be honest. After about a minute of us collecting this dough together, we're going to incorporate the butter and just keep kneading until we've got a nice elastic dough. One thing that you can do to ease the issue of getting sort of soggy dough all over your hands is do the initial mix in your stand mixer if you want, and then break it out. Get the dough out of the stand mix from there and carry on kneading with your hands. It's completely your choice. I've chosen to make my life a lot more difficult here. One thing that I will say as well is, if you don't have a proving drawer like us peasants, you can always put your oven on low for a bit of time beforehand, and when your dough's ready to prove, just plonk it in there, making sure that your temperature is not too high enough to actually kill the yeast, nothing really over 40-50 degrees. Just leave mine on low for a bit, and then as soon as the dough's in there, turn it off. Or you can put it in the boiler cupboard, yeah? So you've had the hot water on, you've got a nice boiler tank full of toasty scalding water in there. Put your dough in there. Done that before, seems to work pretty well. His dough's not sticking to his work surface anymore, it's starting to come together. A couple more minutes and it should be there. Right, I'm pretty happy with that. So what we need now is we need a light oiled bowl, which we can use for proving in. Jesus Christ, I'm a little out of breath from that. Right, so oil up your bowl. Oil up your dough a little bit, stop it sticking. Put some cling film over the top. I'm sorry if you can hear the dogs tinkling about, they're just walking about the kitchen on the hard floor making stupid little noises as they do. So cling filmed over the top. That's time to go into your airing cupboard, proofing oven, whatever you want to proof it. So you may notice a little bit of difference here, so I'm probably not wearing the same clothes I was last time. If I am, then I'm sorry, but we are a few days later here actually, because when I first recorded it, the garlic bread turned out nice, but I wasn't totally happy with it. We had the balls before proving dipped in the garlic butter, and I just don't feel like that worked very well. And I feel like I wanted to make the dough balls a little bit smaller, and I didn't want to be misleading you with wrong information, so what we're going to do, we're going to do it how I would prefer to do it. Okay, yeah, so let's do that. So we've got our loaf tray. You want to grease it a little bit greasy, you know. Spread it around with your hands. You don't want your balls to stick, do you? That'd be horrible. So get that all greased up. Yeah, right, and then we've got our dough, nice and proved. It's at least doubled in size. I've let it proof for about an hour and a half-ish, hour and a half. And we just want to knock it down a little bit. And then tear bits off. Small chunks about an inch across. Last time, in the initial trial, did them a little bit bigger, and during the second proof, they got quite large. I don't know, about yay big when they were cooked, and they're a little bit too big if I'm honest. So let's just get this dough ready, make sure it's all knocked down, and break off small little chunks. What would you say that is? That's Del. What would you say the size of that is? What would you say?
Ball?
No, that's a bit
Ping
small.
pong ball?
Yes, it's about a ping pong ball size, maybe slightly smaller. So placing your balls in, going along, leave a little bit of a gap between them. You want them to be able to rise into this space that they've got between them. You don't leave too much of a gap, but you want to make sure that they're slightly separated. Don't worry if they're different sizes, it's all going to cook as one anyway. You just want to be able to sort of pull the balls apart. You want to be able to like rip the balls apart. Whereas before, if you dip these in garlic butter now, don't stick together, they don't adhere. The grease stops them from sticking, which to be honest makes perfect sense, but sometimes you've just got to try things and just see what works, and I feel like definitely this way is going to be better. So spend a little bit of time doing this, maybe a little bit of fast forwarding. Del will sort that out, she's good at that. Do too much waffle, too much whatever else, so see you on the other side. Right, so we've got all those balls together. Plenty of balls there. Look, all nice and small. They don't have to be all be the same size, to be honest, in my eyes. Maybe in someone else's eyes to do, but you know what? We're going rustic. Lots of balls in there. They're going to rise anyway. They're going to expand. Don't worry if they're perfectly spherical for the exact same reason. So what we want to do now is cover this with some cling film. Make sure the cling film's greased, because this may rise and stick to it, and you don't want to be ripping your balls apart when you take the cling film off. I've said balls way too many times, Del. So what we need to do now is cover his balls up with some cling film. Just use the same one that we'd already proved as dough in, you know, for the environment and everything. Bit of oil on there. You get, just rub it in by your hands. Because like I said, we don't want your balls to get all sticky, do we? We don't want them sticking to that cling film. And then cover it over and pop it in your favourite proving location. Put them in there for about another between 30 minutes and an hour until you're comfortable with how well they've risen, and then we'll come back to make the garlic butter and cooking the balls. Sweet. Look at that! How good do they look? So that's after the second proof. They look incredible. They're ready to go in the oven, 175, for about 30 minutes. But let's make us garlic butter that's going to go on top. So we're going to have 2 garlic butters, one for dipping, and we're going to have one that's just sort of going to sit on top and it's going to seep through, going to go through between the balls. So let's do that. So we've got 2 tablespoons of quite soft butter. We've got about a teaspoon of garlic powder, half a teaspoon of oregano, half a teaspoon of parsley, and half a teaspoon of salt. I just want to give that all a good sort of like mashing together, so create a nice. Sorry, you can't see that, can you? I'm using powdered garlic powder, because in the previous one I used some fresh garlic, and the problem with fresh garlic is that especially for a longer cook time, like 30 minutes, it's going to burn, and when it burns it becomes a bit bitter, a little bit unpleasant to eat. So if you've got garlic within the dough, you'll probably be okay, but because this is going to be sitting on the outside, it risks burning. So garlic powder doesn't burn quite as easy. So for the garlic butter dip that we create afterwards, we'll use a little bit of fresh garlic in there. But for this, garlic powder is much better. So what we just want to do is just plonk it on top. Spread it on there. Oh. And this will just seep through as it cooks and make everything tasty. Right, let's plonk it in. Let's go do. The oven's 175, put it in there for 30 minutes, but probably check on it after about 25 just to be safe, but I think you'll be solid with 30 minutes. See you in 30. How about we get this bad boy out of the oven now? Oh, look at that. How good does that look? Let's flip it out, shall we? Here we go! Took a little bit of coax in. A little bit of jiggery pokery, but look at that. Easy to make. I can't wait to eat. It's going to be delicious to eat. I don't need to tell you that it's garlic bread, isn't it? It's going to be delicious to eat. How about give it a little try then? Oh, look at that. Okay. We'll need a little bit of garlic butter to dip in, don't we? Oh yeah. There we go. Right, well, give it a try. You will 100% not ever regret garlic bread. Come on. And I'll see you next time. Thank you very much. Exit.